Hi everyone, my name is Todd and I'm a program manager here in the School of Continuing Studies. I'll get started on the presentation. I assume a lot of you have questions around COVID and how the program's running and what's going to happen. So I'll go through my slide deck fairly quickly so we leave a lot of time at the end for your Q&A. I've obviously edited my slides to include some information about how our programs will be administered. So anyway, let's get started. As I said, my name is Todd, and I'm a program manager. I am not an accountant, so if you have specific accounting questions, I may not be the best person to answer them, but I certainly can go get the answers if I don't know them. But I basically manage this program. I manage a public relations program. I manage content and digital marketing program, a full stack web development program. So a variety of topics. I do a variety of things to manage my programs, but I often say the most important thing I do is to ensure that you guys as students have a positive experience in your learning. So that's my goal. If I have to worry about instructors, the integrity of the curriculum, the experience that you guys have, that's all sort of falls under me, as well as like budgeting and marketing and all that good stuff. So a quick little agenda. I'll talk about the university for about 2 seconds. I'll talk about the different programs that we offer. I'll talk a bit about the formats, this sort of new live online format, which is sort of part of our face-to-face program since we're in the world of COVID-19. I'll talk a bit about CPA if that's something that you're interested in. I'll talk a bit about the application process, and then we'll jump to the Q&A. So as I said, I'll zip through some of these pretty fast just to get to the Q&A because I'm sure you've got lots of questions. So if you're not familiar with York University, we're the second largest in Ontario, third largest in Canada. We've got over 50,000 sort of students, obviously lots of alumni. York has a very large international student population with over 12,000 students, 178 countries represented. So it's a terrific university. It's a really neat campus. A lot of things happening throughout the day. So if you're not familiar with us, you can certainly learn a bit more, but that's just some basic information to just give you a sense of who we are. So I'm going to do a little poll. I got 4 questions I want to ask everybody just to get some information about you so I can, gear the program comments to your needs specifically. So the first question is, when are people hoping to start the program? May 2020, September 2020, January 2021, or a different time? Okay, so from the results, you can see that a majority of people are hoping to start, or they are starting in September. There's some people for May, which is fine. I'll talk about that. And then obviously some are for January and beyond. Okay, next question. Just wondering if people plan to study online or in person. Okay, let's close this one. So you can see most people studying in person, but a fair number online. So I'll talk about both formats. That's just helpful for me to know where people are at. Okay, 2 more questions. Just wondered if you are a domestic student or if you're an international student. Okay, close this session. So you can see here that it's actually right down the middle, 50-50. So 50% domestic, 50% international, which is fine. That's good. Actually, usually we have more international students, so it's nice we have a fair number of domestic students. So I'll talk about how that works. Perfect. And then the last question I had is just, are you currently enrolled in the accounting program? So are you a prospect or not? So are you currently enrolled in the program? Just yes or no. Okay. So it looks like most people are not enrolled, which is great. So I'll share sort of what's happening, and you can then decide if this is the right program for you. If you are enrolled, obviously you may have some different questions at the end, but we can deal with that at the end of the session. Okay, thanks guys. That was very helpful just for me to get some insights into your interests and background so I can, personalize this to you guys. So who are our students? We have obviously lots of students who come from lots of backgrounds, but this program for the most part is university or college graduates take it. Some people have a degree in accounting. Some people have worked in accounting and still want to get a Canadian credential if they're international. But on the whole, most students will have limited or no accounting experience. So if you don't have any, this is why you're here. You're here to study and learn, and that makes perfect sense. We have newcomers to the field. We have career changers. We have people looking to upgrade their knowledge. We have some people trying to get on the CPA pathway to earn the designation. So people come for lots of reasons. So whatever your reason, you'll probably find other people who are in a very similar situation. Okay, so I want to talk a bit about our full-time programs around COVID-19 and how we're dealing with them. So basically the way it's going to work is the Canadian government has said that, and we know the motivation of students is often to get a work permit. So they come here, they take our programs with the hopes of getting a work permit, which allows them to work in Canada, and then maybe they decide to, live in Canada permanently. So the Canadian government, because of COVID-19, has changed their policy, and they now say that 50% of the study can be done through online courses. So, and if you study 50% online, 50% face-to-face, at least 50% face-to-face, you're still eligible for your work permit, okay? So our May courses, which are starting in a couple of weeks, the full-time version, they will start online. And then when the government says we're able to now meet face-to-face on campus, we will continue the program in Toronto at York University. So if you continue online, we won't offer more than 50% of the program to you in that format, because we want to ensure that people who are studying full-time will have the ability to come to Toronto and study on campus at York to meet and fulfill the work permit requirement. So if you're starting in May, don't have any worry. If in September they say, hey, we're not ready to open up campus, then we're going to have to just postpone that sort of face-to-face part. And then once they do, we'll have all students come to Canada, allow some time for people to travel, get themselves situated. But that's basically how it's going to work with full-time programs with COVID-19 starting in May. If the program is starting in September, it's a little hard to say exactly what will be, because September is still a few months away and we don't know where the world will be at that point. But we'll still follow the same model if we can't meet in person face-to-face because the government says we're not allowed to, or people in other countries, let's say India, if you're not allowed to leave the country or travel abroad, etc., then obviously we'll have to accommodate to ensure that you can meet the requirements to gain that work permit. So we understand that's a big motivation, and everything we'll do is to ensure that that work permit can be met once you complete our program. So the accounting certificate. So as I'm sure you all know, we have two accounting programs. One is sort of called the foundation program, which the course is listed here on the screen. And these include things like financial accounting, managerial accounting, economics, statistics, business law, corporate finance. The two courses that are in red, professional competencies in business and capstone, those courses are not part of CPA. We've added them to our program because we feel that they're super important. And just as a side note, I've heard from lots of accounting people and people from CPA that at this point, when you're looking to sort of get a job in accounting, a lot of times they won't even ask you an accounting question because they assume you have the basic knowledge to do the job because you graduated from an accounting program. What they want to know is how you manage and lead people, how you solve problems, how you critically analyze people, how you communicate. So those sort of competencies are super important, and we teach that in that course. It's actually, it's a little mistake here. There's an older slide deck, but it's actually now called Business Communications, not Professional Competencies. But anyway, the point is that there are these courses to help you be successful in the accounting field and in your job. The four courses that I've sort of put a bracket around are actually part of the requirements if you want to start in the advanced accounting program. So this is the advanced accounting program, and if you think you want to start here and not here, you have to meet these four requirements: fundamentals of financial accounting, intro to managerial accounting, economics, and statistics. So if you took those courses, you just need to send me an email, and you can do that through the registration folks. It's probably the best way. I'll show you the emails and the contact information at the very end. So if you've met those requirements, you can join us in the advanced program. Okay. So this is a question I'm going to read quickly because it's specific to this. Yeah, so Naomi's just asking if she took those courses like 9-10 years ago, did she have to retake them? That's a really good question. For us, the requirement, I think, is 5 years. So in that case, the answer is yes, but certainly send me an email. We can look at the courses. Economics doesn't really change very much. Statistics doesn't change very much. So in some cases, the answer maybe we can make an exception. In some cases, not. So best to send me an email, Naomi, offline, and we can sort of have that conversation. So here's the advanced accounting program. You can see these are much more what CPA calls the core accounting courses. Again, intermediate financial accounting 1 and 2, advanced financial accounting, taxation, auditing, all those good things. So if you think you're ready for this, then I would certainly say start with this program. This course also has a capstone, which is not part of the CPA requirements. And the capstone is just really tying all the bits and pieces together so you can kind of see how all the courses connect, because when you're in the real world, you'll obviously need to know how the things work, because you won't just be working in a silo. Sometimes you're dealing with all these things on one problem. So how does the live online work? And this is for the full-time students who will start the program online. And this is true for you too, Akshmit, if I'm with your question about January 2021. Again, nobody knows what that'll look like. We hope that it'll be face-to-face and we won't have these live online sort of modified sessions, but nobody knows what the future holds. So this is what we're doing now, and we'll continue that until we're told we can go back to full-time face-to-face. So the way the live online will work is the courses will still have live components, and we'll run them from 8:30 to 11:30 on the same days and times that you would have sort of had your face-to-face course. We chose 8:30 in the morning, Canadian Eastern Time, because we know we have a lot of students from India, and in India it's around 6 p.m. So we just want to make sure the time difference works for people. We don't want people to have to get up in the middle of the night to sort of participate in their courses. The courses will have lots of online content, so you can work through practice activities. Sometimes it's narrated PowerPoint decks, there's little podcasts, there's videos, there's articles, all sorts of material that you can sort of view on your own, but you still will have this live session, which will take place, as I said, 8:30 to 11:30 Eastern Time. And it may not meet the full 3 hours, maybe it's partial time, but we still want to make sure there's that live component. So one, you can interact with your instructor. The instructor can share information about the difficult concepts, and they can sort of reteach them if needed. It gives students a chance to interact with other students in the program, because there are some group projects and things. So that's how that works. Once we come to being back face to face, then obviously, we'll sort of manage the times and those kinds of things. But you would still be in the same schedule where on Monday and Wednesday you have fundamentals of financial accounting as an example, and Tuesday, Thursday you have economics. And that same kind of pattern continues throughout the entire duration of the program. One thing I'll say about the program, just so you're aware, but our program is cohort based, and that means the same students who are in the first course with you and the second course will be in the third, the fourth, the fifth, etc. So that really gives you a chance to develop some friendships, some study partners, some networking opportunities, obviously. But yeah, so you'll have the same students throughout the duration of your whole program. If you're studying completely online, you're not doing the full-time face-to-face at all, that won't change from the way we currently offer our programs. So the fully online programs will have a little more flexibility. There is no live sessions that you have to worry about being online at 8:30 in the morning or 6 o'clock your local time. When you do the work is a little more flexible. You may do some work on Sunday. You may do work on Monday where you post into the discussion boards. You're doing practice activities and watching videos on Tuesday. Thursday you take off because you've got to watch the kids, you've got a hockey game, whatever. Friday you're doing some more work. So you can sort of see it's just a little bit different how it's designed, but there are no required synchronous live components. So that's really important to know the distinction between live online, which is the conversion from the face-to-face, which is this model, versus the fully online, which is where that program will not have any live sessions. You won't be meeting face-to-face on campus at York. However, when you start the program, you'll continue the same way throughout. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, questions, just we'll deal with those at the very end. I'll go through this quickly, but just so you can kind of see the difference, both in person, which is the converted to live online until they go back to in person, and online are instructor facilitated. The online is only one course at a time. The live in-person version is 2 courses at a time. So obviously it takes you a shorter period of time to complete it, but it's a little more intense. Obviously time management is going to be important because you're going to have lots of work to work through. You're going to have the online sessions. You're going to have the live sessions. The online takes a bit longer only because there's only one course at a time. Both have assignments and activities. The online courses will have exams. The in-person has exams. The in-person version will be a larger class than the online. That's just sort of the norm of how it works. So that's that. In terms of an application, there is an application. You have to have a university degree or a 3-year college diploma. We do have an IELTS requirement of a 6.0. As I mentioned earlier, there's the 4 prerequisite courses to get into the advanced program. Okay. For the online program, there is no application. It's literally just open enrollment, register, pay the fees, and off you go. Except if you want to apply for the advanced accounting program, and that's just because of the 4 prereqs. We want to make sure people have that background so they can be successful. Okay. For students who are looking to do CPA, there's obviously the pathway. A lot of times, if you have no accounting experience, you start with our postgraduate certificate in accounting. Then you jump to the advanced accounting program. After that, you've got some CPA PEP modules, which you have to do. Then there's a CPA common exam. There's work experience. I think it's like 300 or something hours of work experience you'll have to do. So it's a pretty lengthy process to become a CPA. Lots of great advantages, worldwide recognized, certainly makes you attractive to any company if you have a sense of how the finances work and you're a CPA and they have a certain understanding of ethics and knowledge base. But I'm not going to lie, it's a pretty lengthy process, but certainly something that's worthwhile. And after you finish your common exam, then you can celebrate because you can call yourself a CPA, hence the balloons. Yeah, so I'll just mention here, I won't go to it just for the sake of time, but a lot of the information that I'm talking about today, course descriptions, those kinds of things are all online. Actually, I can show you that quickly. You've all been to our website, I'm sure, but I'll just go to it quickly just to sort of show you in case you haven't. So I'll just click on the one program, which is the Foundation Accounting Program. So I'll just scroll quickly, but you can see here, there's the program overview gives you lots of information on the program. If you want to enroll in the program, you click on this. This is where you also see the fees. You see there's different fees for international and domestic. If you click on the session itself, you'll get more details on the course dates. You'll get more details on the description of the course and that kind of stuff. So all that sort of stems in the course details. Okay. Anyway, so there's all that. So that's all I really wanted to share with you today, just to give you a quick overview of the program, explain a bit about how we're functioning in COVID, so that if people have concerns of, hey, what's my experience going to be like, you'll have a better sense of that. But I'm happy to answer all questions. There's a few already there, so I'll go through them now. But feel free to post your questions, and I'll go through them. And I'll stay on as long as people need. Akshmeet is asking about taking economics and stats in their bachelor program. Do I need to retake them? So if you're doing the advanced program, you can just, if you've done those courses plus Intro to Financial Accounting, plus the Intro to Managerial Accounting, you can just jump right to the advanced program. If you want to transfer courses in, we're changing our policy, and we're going to allow only one transfer. So you have to only be able to transfer in one course. As long as it's 80 to 90% similar to the course we offer, then obviously we'll allow you to transfer that course in. Okay, the next question is from Sarah. If I get the accounting certificate, I want to take the advanced accounting program, am I still need the language proficiency? No, not at all. So you could be exempt from the language proficiency if you studied 1 year in a fully English setting like a university or college or something. So yeah, so if you do our foundation program and then you decide to do the advanced program, you just need to apply again, but I don't really need your transcripts because obviously you've completed our program. You don't need your language requirements because you've already met them and you've spent a year with us in Canada, so nothing to worry about there. Akshmeet's asking can I directly enroll to the CPA PEP or do I need to take the certification courses first? Yeah, to enroll in the CPA PEP courses, you need to take the CPA prereq courses. And the CPA prereq courses, sorry, I'll just advance back to my slides. So everything that you see in black, those first 6 courses and these 8 courses, so the 14 courses are all prerequisites for you to start the CPA PEP program. So if you've taken those courses, then sure, you don't need to take our courses, spend your effort and time and money. You go straight to CPA. But if you haven't, you'll need to do our programs. So Joel's asking about the online program. So the online program for the foundation program, which is this one, Joel, there is an application. So literally, you're good. Just register, pay your money, and off you go. CPA has a requirement you need a degree to get your designation. So if that's your pathway, at some point you will need to get that degree, but you should probably talk to CPA about that because I'm not a CPA expert. Hopefully I answered your question there, Joel. So Joanna's just asking about the IELTS requirements. So yeah, so sorry if I went over that quickly. So minimum requirement to get in our program is a 6.0 IELTS score. That's if it's the foundation program, that's if it's the advanced program, that's if it's business administration, public relations, human resources. They all have the same requirement for admission. So if there's an application and you're an international student, you have to have a minimum of 6.0. Most of our students will have higher. That is one of the factors we look at when we review applications. So just keep that in mind that it does become a competitive process, and IELTS is a consideration there. So hopefully, Joanna, that answers your question. Okay, so Joanna actually had the next question too. Regarding the part-time program, you mean the online program, I think, Joanna, right? Just want to confirm that. The online program, Are there any scheduled activities, or are we able to make the schedule ourselves, i.e. group discussions? Yes. So that stuff is totally on you. So you may participate in the discussion boards and post on Monday. I may post on Tuesday after my kids go to sleep. Maybe Sarah posts on Wednesday because she has some time during the day, and that's when her boss gives her time to work on the course. So yeah, there are set deadlines for the discussions being done that week, but when you post yourself, it's totally up to you. So that does give you the flexibility to make it work for your schedule. If you're a student at York with 90 credits, do you have to graduate a bachelor's program to apply to the accounting program? No, 3-year degree is fine. So if that's your situation, nope, any 3-year degree is perfect. You're good there. Levine is asking, can the prerequisite courses for the advanced program come from separate bachelor's programs? Absolutely. I don't care where you took those courses. It could be 4 different schools. As long as you have those 4 courses and you meet the prereq, then you can jump right to the advanced accounting program. So yep. Just have to send me the course outline so I can review them to make sure they meet our 80 to 90% requirement. Akshmeet is asking, how will I know if I'm eligible to transfer directly enrolling to the advanced accounting program? Is there an admission counselor I can talk to? Yep. So let me just go back to my contact us page. So yeah, here on the screen, the best person to talk to is David. He's our advisor, and he can advise you which one might be a better fit for you. So just send a note to continue@yorku.ca and just ask for David, and he can help you. Okay, so Naomi's asking, when is the application deadline for fall 2020 and for winter 2021? So fall 2020 is already open, and we have a lot of students who are already accepted. A lot of them, to be honest, were in the spring program and then they deferred to the fall because of COVID. So if you want to apply for fall, I would definitely suggest doing it much sooner than later, just because we're getting new applications for fall, plus all the ones from the summer term that sort of deferred to the fall. So yeah, that's how that works. Winter is not open yet. I assume we're going to be opening it in the next month or so. So be on the lookout for that. But again, the sooner you apply, the sooner we can get back to you with a decision, basically. Okay, so Sarah's asking, I have a bachelor's degree in accounting out of Canada with 10 years work experience. Can I jump to the advanced accounting? Unfortunately, from the work experience, that is not something what we factor in terms of the prerequisites. So you have to have the coursework and not the work experience. Unfortunately, they have to come from coursework in accounting, managerial accounting, stats, and econ. I would imagine you could probably do those courses no problem, but we don't have a challenge exam or anything that says, okay, you've met the requirements, you've taken this exam to show you have proof of knowledge in those areas. We need documentation from a transcript that says you've taken them. What's the next one, Lavina? What's the maximum acceptable gap for a degree? There's no gap to apply to the program. The only gap is for transfer credit. And maybe I should clarify this from an earlier question. If you took a managerial accounting class 10 years ago, that's fine by me. I have no problem with that. It's only transfer credits if you want to opt out of the course. So maybe I wasn't clear on that, and I should probably rephrase that. So if you did a program 10 years ago and you want to jump to the advanced program and you took economics 10 years ago, that's fine with me. The only stipulation I should just make you aware of, if you want to pursue your CPA designation, they may have a requirement that says you have to take that within 5 years. So I would want to check with them first. Hopefully that answered your question. I didn't confuse anybody on that. Naomi's asking, is there a part-time online advanced program in the winter 21? The answer is yes. So yep, we'll have the advanced one start in the winter. It'll start in September for the fall and also for January. Neaton's asking a good question. What's your advice for September intake students? How can they prepare well for this course? Well, since that course will be start online, I would say time management is going to be critically important to you. So finding a comfortable place to study, finding a comfortable place that you can do those live sessions if you're doing the full-time version to make sure you're not being interrupted, finding time to balance life and family and study is super important. So I don't worry about the academic components. I always worry about the other stuff to make sure that you can balance life and school and, on top of all the classwork, you should also expect 10 to 12 hours of homework and reading textbooks and practicing, practice questions and things. So definitely some effort that's going to require some time management, some project management skills. So that to me, I think would help you be most successful. Yeah, so Joel's asking if we have a May intake for the online program, and at the moment the question is no, we don't. So we have a September intake, we have a January intake for online. The May intake, which we call summer, is actually new for us. It's the first time we're actually offering it. So obviously we weren't expecting COVID to throw things into chaos. But yeah, so in the future that certainly may be an opportunity for us to add another online offering, but at the moment it's just September and January. Curdy's asking, is there a minimum grade requirement for the transfer credits? Yeah, I believe it's a degree course, it's a C, and if it's a degree course, it's a C. If it's a college course, it's a B. Thanks, Neat. That's very kind of you. She said, love from India, love from Canada. Okay, so scholarships at York. Good question. I would reach out. We have actually just launched some new bursaries for our students because of COVID, and things are not easy for people. So there are some new bursaries. I would reach out to the Reg team because they can best advise you. Also on our website, there's I think a whole section now on COVID sort of information and sort of bursaries and opportunities. So definitely look out for that because that's something new that we've never offered in the past. In terms of the courses, Ashmi, that you've taken elsewhere, you'd have to talk to CPA to see if they would accept them. I do my own sort of review to make sure they're fit for the prerequisites, but in terms of CPA designation, you have to get their permission too if you've taken the courses outside of our program at York. Okay, Lanka's asking, is there a pathway from postgraduate advanced accounting to a master's in accounting? Not at York University. So like Schulich has a master's, you'd have to talk to the Schulich people, but we don't have a relationship or some laddering process that would be an easy pathway for you. So the quick answer is no, but you can certainly look for other master's programs out there and see if they would accept our courses towards their program. But at York, the answer is no, because our courses are considered non-degree courses, so they wouldn't fulfill any requirements towards the master's program or a graduate program. What are the job opportunities after the advanced accounting program? Yeah, so after the accounting program, obviously you've got a pretty high level and knowledge of accounting. On our website, actually, this might be helpful. I'll just jump there for a sec. So if you go back to our main website for the accounting program, there's a little bit of an image or a diagram that I think will answer that question. Where'd it go? Oh yeah, sorry. Under pathway 2, where it says the advanced certificate in professional, you can sort of look for jobs in accounting or finance supervisor, intermediate accounting. If you look at pathway number 1, just those basic accounting courses, more payroll coordinator, junior accountant, accounting clerk, that kind of thing. But what I would do is I would just go to some of the job sites like Indeed and Monster.ca, and I would just put in different accounting jobs and see what kind of requirements they require of you to see if you feel you need them, because everyone's different, right? You may have some other experience, some other coursework, etc. Let me go back to my slide. Ashmeet is asking about what documents do I need for the application. So yeah, for the application, we just require your IELTS scores, we require transcripts, and that's really, and then just contact information and things like that. So that's part of just the general information collection. Yeah, it just depends on the program. Some are much more competitive. I get, sometimes hundreds of applications for a program. It takes me a little while to get through them all. Sometimes like advanced, there's not as many, so it takes me a little less. But we're probably at 4 to 6 weeks to get a response back. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to sign off. It's 1 o'clock now. I hope everybody stays healthy, mentally, physically, you and your families. Hope everybody stays healthy, and hopefully we can all get back to our normal lives soon. And you guys can, hopefully the ones that want to come to campus, we can be here sooner or later, and we can meet face to face in person. Any questions? Reach out to the folks on the slide on the screen. And then if you have any questions, we can certainly answer them offline if need be. All right, guys. Thanks again. Thanks for all the nice compliments. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. And have a wonderful and happy, nice long weekend. Okay, bye everybody.